Listen, thanks so much for coming this evening and welcome to New Tracks Meetup. I really do appreciate you all taking the time to join us tonight. Hope you'll join us a lot more and tell your friends about us. If you have not done so far, you need to go to the wonderful website that TC has put together for us called newtracksmodeling.com and register so that you'll get notices for the other shows like this that we do every Wednesday and Saturday evening, as well as our New Tracks train shows. So I hope you will go there and register at our website. The train show, Dylan, if you'll put up that flyer, is going to be November the 21st at 1 p.m. in the afternoon, Eastern Time. We've got some really outstanding model manufacturers and publications that are going to be in it. And we really do think that you're going to enjoy it and hope that you'll put it on your calendar so that you don't miss the time of it. We have Nick Massey, who is with ITLS Scale Models. And ITLS stands for Imagine the Laser Arts. And Nick is kind enough to be with us tonight, talk about his company a little bit, and hopefully say some nice things about our train show. So Nick, with that said, I'll turn it over to you.
All right, Jim, thanks very much. Happy to be here, guys. Thanks for the opportunity to talk a little bit about my company and hopefully share with you some of the product that we have to offer and a little bit of information behind it and how we got to where we are. So I'm going to share my screen here, if I may. And Dylan, can you tell me when you see my presentation?
You got it. Standing by.
Okay.
Alrighty, we got the slideshow up.
Am I in full presentation mode yet?
No. Not
yet.
Not yet? Okay, wait for it.
There we go.
How's that? And I'm not in the slide view, am I? Am I in the?
Yep, you are in the display view. It's showing the next slide, but we can work with this.
That. Wait a second. I have the technology. Is that better?
That is much better.
All right. All right, guys. ITLA Scale Models is the company name, and we're manufacturers of precision laser cut scale model kits. My wife Renee and I have run the business now since 2012, and I've been working hard to provide some unique products to the modeling community, and we're lucky enough to be able to send those worldwide. So we've had some great opportunity to get into the likes of Europe and you know, down into Australia, New Zealand, Japan, and Malaysia, and things like that, as well as obviously the United States and Canada. So we offer a wide variety of high quality kits representing an industrial back alley gritty architecture theme. And you'll notice that as I go through some of the pictures. Our laser etched and cut wood materials represent masonry, steel, and concrete when you paint them using basic techniques. I can touch base on that later too. We use some premium quality micro plywood, some MDF, laser board, 3D parts, and styrene materials. And incidentally, the 3D parts, we're leveraging our good friend Bernard at Mini Prints for some of that stuff. So from etched brick structures to modular wall panels, unique detail kits to flat car decking, and even some New York and Chicago elevated railway structure. So if you look towards the bottom of the page here, you'll see the main categories on our website. I hope you go and check them out and have a good look. There's some great photos in there and maybe some inspiration. So, you know, a lot of people model in plastic, of course. Why do we want, or why do we suggest you build with laser cut wood? And I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't really know much about modeling in wood until I bought the company. And since then, I love it from a medium that provides a surface texture that represents brick and masonry, I think better than plastics. You get the paint to penetrate the surface rather than building up on top, and that gives you a realistic matte finish. It's a controlled penetration, of course, and it allows for color layering and translucency like you see in real life. The MDF wall components we use are really warp resistant, so you'd have to soak it in a bucket of water to really get this stuff to warp. Wood also provides a nice tooth for the use of pigments and chalks and pastels. So they work really, really well on these surfaces. And that's our O-scale Olympia tool and die kit pictured to the right. One of our hallmarks is the fact that a lot of our designs are configurable. So many of our structure kits are engineered to offer you the opportunity to build a model in a variety of footprints and varying wall combinations. Some of our kits can build in as many as 15 wall combinations. I'll show you some of that, from full walled to shallow relief to background flat formats, kit bash capable by design. Ease of assembly, precise fit and finish quality materials, tab and slot construction, enable a more efficient and satisfying build experience. So here's an example of one of those configurable designs. That's the O-scale tool and die kit, Olympia tool and die kit that I showed you a moment ago. This is it's shown in 3 of its 15 possible wall combinations. So you can see that there's a full walled structure here. You can see you can build it also as a full flat. You could even argue that's a shallow relief with an 1.5 inch return in O-scale. And then you've got this combination shallow relief and background flat as well. So in any configuration in between those. So we engineer the kits to be a little more modular in construction, giving you the flexibility to fit the space you have, and you can interchange the walls and place the features where you need them. So if you want to move your dock door around, let's look at this example here. You could shift that dock door wall to the left, you could shift it down to the right, wherever it fits your space. We strive for finer scale, separate and interchangeable components and expandable designs. So a lot of these buildings, you can actually chain together. You could combine 2 kits and make something really, really unique. The cool thing about it is, if you look at these 3 pictures, they're all the same kit. This is the same kit that's built in just 3 different configurations, which is kind of a neat feature. And this one gets a lot of attention at the shows that we go to. You'll notice also as we go forward, a lot of focus on rooftop details and on wall details as well. We think that's where you see the difference in the model, and you appreciate that kind of detail. Another example, this is our N-scale, a brand new kit we just put out last month, N-scale all-state machine parts in its version 1 configuration. HVAC ducting, vents and stacks, fire escapes, water tank, pallets and crates, to just say a few, but this is all, the detail level that we're striving for here. Incidentally, these beautiful little cyclone vents, that's from our friend Bernard at Mini Prints, as an example, as is the top of that water tank. So we try to provide you with the design flexibility to position components, I mentioned that a moment ago, and create something truly unique. So here is that same structure you saw on the last slide, built in its shallow relief configuration, also with its back walls opened up and flared forward. To the right is that same kit again, this time with its 4th and 5th floor extension added to it. So you can now see you got a nice large 5-story structure, and it's extends about 21.5 inches in N scale, which is pretty decent length. We also manufacture traditional craftsman kits. So, not to get too hung up on all the neat back alley stuff. We also do a couple of traditional craftsman kits, again, incorporating modular design strategies. This is Grimsby Station and HO scale, but there's no stick builds here. So I'm familiar with the stick builds. I used to, I grew up building some of that as well. I've taken a little bit of a design turn from that, if you will, and I like the modularity. It comes from some of my background in the automotive industry. Grimsby Station continues here. It features laser etched shingles as an example, unique turrets, eyebrow windows, etched planking on the platforms, tab and slot construction, and much more. One of the other things I've been spending a lot of time in, and I really, really enjoy, are these modular wall systems, and taking advantage of the wood construction that we offer you. There's, I believe, a better representation of this type of curtain wall factory or reinforced concrete factory construction. Everything you see there in this picture is N scale, believe it or not, and it's all painted using rattle cans and acrylics. This material is easy to laser engrave, unique details into it. You'll see that in a moment. You can cut it easily, you can modify it. I like to chip the edges, the hard edges of the laser cut material to make it look like worn concrete, stuff like that. And above all, it's easy to assemble. This is the HO version of that same modular wall system. You can look at this photograph and see that you can really achieve a finer scale representation using some of these laser etched and cut materials. Scale size window frames, opening sashes, fire escapes that are fairly configurable as well in their own right. Exhaust fans and grills and things like that, and junction boxes, etc. So you can have a lot of fun with this stuff, and it's very flexible and easy to build. There it is again pictured. This is on my layout here, but the thing I want to kind of share with you here is this is our example of our design for configurability. So you can build these kits to fit unique spaces on your layout. So this is a corner area on my layout that I was staring at for years, and I hated it. And then I finally developed a solution here, which are these wall panels. You can actually vertically stack them as well. So I sell them as a 4-story standard kit, and you can cut and fit these things because of the ease of assembly and stack them to create what I did here, a 6-story structure. So the other theme I want to touch on is the fact that we design for assembly. So we are modelers, we think like modelers. So what we've done in this case, we separated the key components so that you don't have to mask them. So all the brick inserts are separate parts. The windows are obviously separate parts. The pilasters and the cornice wear, all that stuff is separate parts that you can choose to put together first, then paint later, or basically paint separately, which is what we tend to want to do. No masking, which is really nice and quick. We also provide many unique detail kits. I mentioned a little bit earlier, rooftops are important to us. So this is our new N-scale rooftop detail kit. Again, laser cut wood, a little bit of styrene involved here. We've got a little bit of 3D printed material as well. So a combination of a bunch of materials and technologies there. We like our dock interiors too. This is the N-scale loading dock interior example. So the great space to allow, to open and model. It adds so much more dimension to your structures. We love it, and especially the lighting, of course, sets it all off. So our 3D laser engraved details and precision cutting, we represent wood masonry surfaces and steel components as well. You can see our N-scale rooftop water tank here. You can see some of the weathered masonry that we like to etch into our MDF walls. So there's rebar showing through below spalling concrete. And then of course some fire escapes, and you can see the nice laser cutting and the precision in those. Those are tab and slot assembly as well, by the way. So in summary, our kit designs feature ease of assembly, precise, repeatable fits, and quality materials. Minimal parts cleanup. I really want to I think like a modeler, so I'm doing my best to ensure that you have a great experience. So I try to make sure the parts are clean, easy to paint with simple techniques. Tab and slot construction gives you an efficient, satisfying build experience. Our configurability and our modular themed assembly allows you to fit any space on your layout, whether it's a shelf layout, traveling module, or a basement empire. You can fit anywhere with these models. Unique roof and wall details, as you can see in the photos that I've shown you. And last couple points that I'd like to make: customer service. I want to make sure that you have an enjoyable build experience. And if you have a great build experience, I'm really satisfied that I've provided a decent product and with high value and something that you're proud of displaying. We're also here to answer questions while you build and offer support. We're just an email away. I do that almost on a daily basis. I'm chatting with somebody. And parts replacement guarantee, we stand behind our products. So if you break a part during normal handling, we'll replace it free of charge because we understand. And thank you again. I want to thank again, Jim, for the opportunity to share what ITLA Scale Models is all about. I'm looking forward to the big show on the 21st of November and opportunity to share this information again and perhaps a little bit more.
Well, Nick, before I forget, I know Jack just put this in the chat, but how do you make your roofs? Are they cardstock or basewood?
No, actually, depending on the kit that you're looking at. So Grimsby Station is an example. That is a birch plywood roof that's etched with shingles in it. A lot of the other buildings are actually using MDF as a roof panel, or in our little N scale kit, we're actually using laser board as a roof panel. So lots of opportunities.
Nick, can I ask, do you do all of the building of the models for your displays?
I do most of them, and I have another gentleman that helps me. His name is Dave Ross, and he's a great builder and painter as well. So we do that all together. There's no way I could do it all myself. It's just too much.
Well, they look fantastic. Besides being a manufacturer, you're a good modeler.
Oh, thank you kindly. Thanks very much. It's that's part of the goal, right? I mean, I started as a modeler. I am a modeler, and this funny hobby grew into a business, right? So we're enjoying all aspects.
Well, it's kind of like once you get into it, if you don't enjoy it, what are you doing? I mean, for me, my business has become my hobby. And
yeah.
I think part of it is because I enjoy the challenge of creating something.
Exactly.
Which that's just it. And at the same time, I have a similar philosophy. If my customer doesn't enjoy what they're building, what are they coming to me for anyway?
Exactly right.
If they enjoy what I've created and they're able to be successful with it, the way I see it is they're going to come back to you again.
Yeah, that's right. And honestly, that's a reward to me as a manufacturer and as a designer, I guess, if you will. I mean, if you have a good time and you're successful building my kit, I get a lot of satisfaction out of that. So it's not it's not about the dollars that you're making or whatever. You're not going to get rich in this hobby anyway, by the way, manufacturing. So just enjoy, right? So as long as I can give you something of value that you feel is very worthy and you enjoy and you're proud to display, then I'm a happy guy, and my wife Renee, the CFO, is really happy too. So so it's all fun.
All right.
Well, Nick, I really do appreciate you taking the time to come tonight, and look forward to seeing you at the show. Hope you do well at it. Hope that it fulfills your hopes and dreams for what you can get out of it. We're working hard to try to make it that way, at least. Yeah,
awesome, Jim. Thank you kindly. I know this is a great venue for this kind of thing. So my hat's off to all you guys for doing this and opening up the world to little manufacturers, small manufacturers like us. So very much appreciated and glad to be part of it, and hope to get an invite back.
Thanks so much.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I don't know, Jim. I don't know about you, but hey, I'd have him back. He's quite an interesting guy.
Absolutely, I think so too.
Well, I think.
Now
we got a My Bill coming up that Chris Gorse does on December the 12th. So anybody that has models, we hope that you'll come that evening and display your models and show us what you're building and talk us through it a little bit. We really would appreciate your participation. And if you want to do that, because those sessions are fairly possible, if you could contact Chris ahead of time and tell him you want to have a model in it for that evening, then he'll make sure that you're scheduled. So hope you'll do that.
Sounds good, Jim. Thanks again very much.
Yes, sir.
So
we were supposed to have Mark Meeks here with us tonight of Union Station Products. And Mark makes products for NHOSNO. And I was really pleased that he was going to be able to be with us. But for some reason, he must have gotten tied up or something. We haven't been able to contact him. So unfortunately, he will not be joining us tonight. So we can do one or two things here. We can do one or two things. Before I go into that, though, I'd like to do this. For next time, and this one I'm fairly sure about. I thought I was sure about Mark, but obviously I wasn't. But Mike Baker, who owns Nick and Nora Designs, is going to be with us next time. And he's also going to be in the train show. So I think you'll really enjoy seeing him. And Dylan, what I'm going to suggest at this point is we stop recording and just we do what TC has been wanting to do for I can't tell you how long. And talk about whatever anybody'd like to talk about for a